I have two brief questions I'd like to ask, if I may.
Hi, welcome to Left Foot Media. My name is Brendan Malone and you're watching The Daily Question. Today's question of the day: was Mark Duplass right to apologise to Ben Shapiro? Now, the reason I'm asking that question is because about a week or so back, the actor Mark Duplass tweeted out the following: "Fellow Liberals, if you are interested at all in crossing the aisle, you should consider following Ben Shapiro. I don't agree with him on much, but he's a genuine person who once helped me for no other reason than to be nice. He doesn't bend the truth. His intentions are good." Now, I saw that tweet and I thought, well, it's a very nice and lovely thing to say about someone that you actually have a political or philosophical, and it sounds like quite a lot of political and philosophical disagreement with. This, to me, is a classic example of how society is supposed to function. I don't hate you even if I disagree with your ideas. And in fact, in humane societies, the way in which you have an open and robust discourse of ideas is not by hating people for the smallest and most insignificant reasons based around the fact that they hold different views of how the world should be and how things should be to what you do. That's exactly how you end up with a dysfunctional society. So this tweet was quite a good thing, but then came the Twitter mob. You know, the inevitable Twitter mob came knocking on Mark Duplass's door. Knock, knock, knock. Mr. Duplass, we're here. It's the Twitter mob. We're here to re-educate you about how you should be living your life. We've got our flaming torches and our pitchforks here. So sit down, son, while we teach you a thing or two. And then, not long after that, Mark Duplass issued a second and much lengthier tweet in which he said the following: "So, that tweet, the one about Ben Shapiro, was a disaster on many levels. I want to be clear that I in no way endorse hatred, racism, homophobia, xenophobia, or any other such form of intolerance." Now, you'll notice something straight away. First of all, he's establishing his bona fides here. Look, trust me, I'm one of you. I'm one of the good guys, okay? I'm on your side, team. Please put your pitchforks down. Not only that, but this is almost like a religious creedal type formulation. Do you renounce Satan and all his ways? Yes, I do renounce Satan. Do you renounce hatred, racism, xenophobia, transphobia, and all their ways? Yes, I do renounce. So it's got a sort of creedal religious type formula. My goal has always been to spread unity, understanding, and kindness. Again, that's more like a religious creed. That's not a bad thing, what he's saying there, but this is very much like a religious creed. You know, here's what I renounce, here's what I do live. But I am going to make mistakes along the way. Sometimes I move too quickly when I get excited or fail to do enough research, or I don't communicate myself clearly. I'm really sorry. And this is where you have your act of contrition. Again, this is very religious. It's the mea culpa moment, the public confession of your sins, the public confession of the things that you did wrong, and you tell the community about what you did wrong. It's the mea culpa moment. I am really sorry. Mea culpa, mea culpa, mea maxima culpa, right? And then comes the promise to do better. I now understand that I need to be more diligent and careful. I'm working on that. But I do believe deeply in bipartisan understanding, and I will continue to do my best to promote peace and decency in this world right now. Well, to be honest with you, Mark, that tweet, the second tweet here, is not really helping to promote that at all, and it's certainly not creating bipartisan understanding, just the exact opposite. That said, I hear you. This is the angry Twitter mob. I hear you, Twitter mob. Please don't burn me at the stake too. And I want to say thank you to those who reached out with constructive criticism. I have genuinely learned so much and wish everyone all the best. Mark Duplass. I really wish he hadn't tweeted out that second tweet. To me, this is like something from 1984, George Orwell's 1984. You know, I have now realized with the help of Big Brother that I was wrong to try and promote unity between two people who have completely divergent views on philosophy and political matters. So this guy holds different philosophical and political views to what I do. I was wrong now. I realized that I was totally wrong. You were right. I was wrong to try and suggest that we should reach across the aisle and connect with people who are genuine and well-meaning and good people, even if we disagree with them. Instead, what we should do is allow those disagreements on matters of philosophy and politics to actually divide us and separate us and create a wedge between us. Because as Big Brother would always say, separation is unity. It really does sound like something that you would hear in Big Brother. It's astounding to me. This is hatred disguised and dressed up as humanity. This is a lack of unity tarted up as some sort of unified, civil, humane society. There's nothing of the sort going on here. Like I said, Mark Duplass' second tweet actually does the very thing he's claiming in the second tweet that he doesn't want to do. The second tweet actually creates division. It actually treats Ben Shapiro as if he is some sort of other who must be outcast and who must be ostracized from the community because he doesn't think the way as this particular group of people think that Mark Duplass is part of. Well, guess what? We're not going to have much of a society left if we keep living that way. This is the whole point about tolerance. You tolerate the person, not necessarily the ideas. So even when you disagree with the ideas that they're espousing, you still tolerate the person because you look at the person and you say, you know what? That person is a human person just like I am. They have the same dignity as I do. They are equal of the same respect as I am. What we're talking about here with Ben Shapiro is not an evil actor. He is not a nefarious actor. He's not a xenophobe. He's not a homophobe. He's not racist. He doesn't promote hatred. He just has political and philosophical views that Mark Duplass and other people who move in his particular philosophical and political circles disagree with. But that does not make him an evil person who must be separated from the community. And this is exactly why I think society is becoming so dysfunctional now in the area of serious debate about important issues. Because we are obsessed with the wrong things. Instead of seeing the personhood of another and then using that as our starting point, we are now starting with the disagreement, and then we are turning that disagreement into this big overarching thing where we no longer even see the person. Instead, we see the idea we disagree with, and we say, that is not a person anymore, that is some sort of evil that must be cast out from our midst. Look, it's unlikely that he's watching, but Mark Duplass, you should have never sent that second tweet. What you should have done instead was, when the Twitter mob came knocking, you should have said, look, here's the deal. I tweeted out saying that we should actually do our best to try and connect with, in a humane and genuine way, with people who are well-meaning, even if we might not agree with their politics or their philosophies. That we should actually try and connect with people person to person, right? And I said that about a guy, Ben Shapiro, who's actually a good guy. So I'm not going to apologise. Because if you can't understand that important distinction, and if you can't make the necessary distinctions that need to be made about my original tweet, and you think I've done something evil and vile and wrong here and I must be treated like some heretic, then I'm not the one with the problem. You are. I'm not the one who is contributing to a less humane society. I'm not the one who is destroying your supposed utopia. You are, and you're destroying it from the inside out with these kind of separatist, almost, what would you call it, political and philosophical apartheid, where we cut ourselves off from other people just because they have different views to us. That is not building a healthy, vibrant, connected and unified society. It's not helping us to have a shared common humanity. It's destroying it. It's destroying connection between people where there should be connection. And not only that, but it's actually demonizing and vilifying people who don't deserve, even in the slightest, to be demonized and vilified. Why do you do that? Because I think a lot of people are incapable of arguing, and they probably haven't even really thought out their position too well, and they're incapable of actually articulating at a deeper level why they believe certain things to be true and why they've structured their lives around those beliefs. And so when they encounter someone who disagrees with them, instead of actually being capable of engaging in a rational discourse about the point of disagreement, they just try and demonize the other person as a way of not having to deal with the disagreement. It's much easier to demonize, to silence, and to segregate ourselves from someone than it is to actually have a robust discourse, especially in the public square, about important issues. This example here is just another sad example in a long and growing litany of cases where it seems that people, particularly those on the left, I'm not saying it doesn't happen from time to time on the right as well, but it does seem particularly this is a real problem of the left right now, this inability to actually engage with people who hold a difference of opinion. As per usual, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if you like the content I'm creating and you'd like to see more of it, then please support me on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. There's a link in the description below and a link on screen at the end of this video. That's right, I can hear my theme music too. I'll see you next week on The Daily Question.